Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video day, and today we know who the Houston Texans are playing in the wild card. The Houston Texans will be playing the Los Angeles Chargers, going up against Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers. Jim Harbaugh is going to return to where he won a national championship. Jim Harbaugh won a national championship with Michigan against Washington at NRG Stadium just a year ago, and around the 1-year anniversary, Jim Harbaugh is going to return to where he won a national championship, but this time it'll be to play a different kind of playoff game. It'll be to play an NFL playoff game against the Houston Texans. I'm excited for this game. I would be more excited for this game because if it was against the Steelers and if yesterday was a loss. I know that sounds weird. I never want to see the Texans lose a game. I never want to see the Houston Texans lose to the Tennessee Titans. It just really upsets me that the Texans are the reason why the Tennessee Titans had the first overall pick. It also makes me sick to say. I kind of wanted the Texans to lose yesterday. I'm glad we won, but it also really upsets me that thanks to the Texans, the Tennessee Titans have the number 1 overall pick. But at the same time, it is what it is. And now the Texans are going to have to face a solid quarterback in the next couple of years, which Tennessee hasn't had that recently in the last couple of years. So and I think that's a big reason why the Texans have been able to go 3-1 in these last couple of years against the Tennessee Titans. But that might start to change next year if their offense starts to get better. That's enough about the Titans, though. Their history, we beat them yesterday. But it's on to the Chargers. And this is going to be a tough match for this Texans team. But the Texans can play offensively the way they did to finish off yesterday's game. This is the way they started off yesterday's game. It will be a good one for the Texans on Saturday. I don't have much hope for this team in the long path. If you're going to go out there and you're going to say this team has a chance to go to the Super Bowl, I praise you if you're a Texans fan and you believe that, because you believe, and I want to believe in this team as well. But I don't. I believe in this team to win this football game this Saturday, and that's as far as I'll go. I just don't know about this team going into a Kansas City or a Buffalo in the cold and winning a playoff game. I will tell you is I think this is a lot. I think there's not a lot of people that thinks this team could do this, but what I do think this team can do is win this game on Saturday, which not a lot of people are thinking they can do that. But I'll also tell you what that reminds me of. It reminds me of last year. Not a lot of people thought the Texans could beat the Browns. Everybody was saying the Browns are going to crush. I remember Stephen A. Smith. The Browns are going to whoop the Texans. Everybody was on big Browns. It was nobody would believe in the Texans last year, but the Texans took care of business. The Texans shocked everybody, even though they were at home. They had the outstanding rookie quarterback and a similar record to the Browns. The Texans still shocked everybody when they beat the crap out of the Browns. I could see the Texans doing that this year again. I don't see that. Look, I'm not saying the Texans are going to whoop the Chargers, because that is not happening. I think this Chargers team is way more talented than the Browns were last year. But I think the Texans can surprise everyone again and win this game. If their defense can show up, and I don't think that's really been a huge problem this year. Their defense has been pretty good. I don't think that's a problem at all. If their defense can show up, make the right plays, the only question is the offense. That's going to be tough going up against a good defense, but look, I think C.J. Stroud can get it done, but it's going to be a tough one. I really do. But the other thing is, I don't think a lot of people think that Texans can not only win this game, but going into a Buffalo or a Kansas City, I'm not going to say the Texans can go out there and win in a Buffalo or Kansas City, because I don't think they can. But what I do think is the Texans can have a close game with a Buffalo or Kansas City on the road in the playoffs. And I think if the Texans were to win this game on Saturday against the Chargers and end up getting a win, if that happens, if they win on Saturday, it's most likely Kansas City that the Texans would play. And if it's not Kansas City, it's Buffalo. And if the Texans headed to Buffalo or Kansas City, we all know the Kansas City or Buffalo would be favored to whoop the Texans' butts. I mean, everybody would be saying Buffalo is going to beat them by 20, or Kansas City is going to beat them by 14, maybe 20. I don't think that would happen. I think the Texans would go into Buffalo or Kansas City and put up a close game, do some nice things, but still lose. And I know that doesn't sound nice, but I think it's a W postseason if this Texans team can win a playoff game when everybody's doubting them and everybody's not expecting them to do anything in the playoffs. Rex Ryan on ESPN said today that it was basically a bye week for the Chargers. Rex Ryan is the biggest Texans hater ever. I mean, he said a couple weeks ago prior to that when the Texans lost to the Chiefs 27-19, he said that the Texans were the worst division winner in football. I mean, look, I'd say maybe even the NFC South winner might be worse. I mean, the Bucs are pretty good, but I mean, I don't know. The Texans aren't the only. The AFC South is not the only bad division in football. Let's look at the division the Bucs played in. I think the Bucs are a great football team, but come on, look at their division. I don't see Rex Ryan hating on the Bucs at all. But I think this Texans team, they have a shot on Saturday, which is important. And I think a lot of people are making it seem like they don't. They do. It's going to be a good one, I think. You got two good coaches. You got two good quarterbacks. You got two good defenses, and that's really important. I think it's going to be a good one. I'm really excited, but like I said, I'm not expecting a first Super Bowl for this Texans team this year. I'm not expecting a first AFC Championship game because I just don't think that's possible. But the good thing is that I think this team can outdo the haters. They can outdo the naysayers, and I think by doing that, you can win a playoff game and you can go have a competitive divisional round game. As a fan, I am happy. I am perfectly happy and proud of this team if they only win one playoff game and they're competitive in the divisional round, and then they go on to the new season next year with motivation to do better next year. And if that happens as a Texans fan, I am happy with that and would not care. Like if you tell me right now, the Texans go into this postseason, they beat the Chargers, they have a great game. Everybody is surprised because they all picked the Chargers, and then they go in the divisional round, go to like Kansas City, they lose, but they only lose by 7. The team plays pretty well when everybody thought they'd get smoked, and they go into the next season with confidence and want to win even more. I'm happy. I'm completely happy as a fan. So let's go Texans. Let's go hope that the Texans can go beat these Chargers. I'm really excited and hoping for it. Let me know your thoughts on the Texans. Let me know your thoughts on the Texans-Chargers playoff matchup coming up on Saturday at 3:30 against the Chargers. That's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace out.